She looked at her reflection in the mirror long, carefully, and critically. He'll say I look like a Coney Island cross girl, but what could I do? Or what could I do with $1.87? She said to herself. At 7 o'clock, the coffee was made, and the frying pan was on the back of the stove, hot and ready to cook the chops. Jim was never late. Della doubled the fob chain and sat on the corner of the table, near the door that he always entered. Then she heard his step on the stairway, and she turned white for just a moment. She had a habit of saying little silent prayers about the simplest everyday things, and now she whispered desperately, "Please God, make him think I'm still pretty." The door opened and Jim stepped in and closed it. He looked thin and very serious. Poor fellow, he was only 22 and to be burdened with a family. He needed a new coat and he was without gloves. Jim stepped inside the door and saw Della, as immovable as a setter at the sound of squeal. His eyes were fixed upon Della, and there was an expression that she could never experience before. It was not anger, nor surprise, nor disapproval, nor horror, nor any of the sentiments that she had been prepared for. He simply stared at her fixedly, with a peculiar expression on his face. Della reeled off the table and went for him. "Jim, darling," she cried, "don't look at me that way. I had my hair cut off and sold it because I couldn't have lived through Christmas without giving you a present. It'll grow out again. You won't mind, will you? My hair grows awfully fast. Say please, Merry Christmas." And you know, what a beautiful gift I've got for you. "You've cut off your hair?" asked Jim slowly, laboriously. "Cut it off and sold it," said Della. "Don't you like me just as well anyhow? I'm me without my hair, ain't I?" Jim looked about the room curiously. "You say your hair is gone?" he said with an air almost of idiocy. "You needn't look for it. It's sold, I tell you, sold and gone. It's Christmas Eve, boy. Be good to me, for it went for you." Maybe the hairs of my head were numbered, but nobody could ever count my love for you. Should I put the chops on Jim? Out of his trance, Jim seemed quickly to wake. He unfolded his Della, and Jim drew a package from his overcoat pocket and threw it upon the table. And don't make any mistake, Del. I don't think there's anything in the way of a haircut that could make me like my girl any less. But if you unwrap the package, you may see Why you had me going a while at first. White fingers and nimble tore at the string and paper, and a scream of joy, and then, alas. The set of combs side and back, for there lay the combs that Della had worshipped for long in a Broadway window. Beautiful combs, pure tortoise shell with jeweled rims, just a shade to wear in the beautiful vanished hair. They were expensive combs, she knew, and her heart had simply craved and yearned over them without the least hope of possession. She hugged them to her bosom with dim eyes and smile and say, "My hair grows so fast, Jim." And then Della leaped up like a little cat and cried, "Oh, oh." Jim had not yet seen his beautiful present. She held it out to him eagerly upon her open palm. "Isn't it a dandy, Jim? I hunted all over town to find it. You'll have to look at the time 100 times a day now. Give me your watch. I want to see how it looks on it." Instead of obeying, Jim tumbled down on the couch and put his hands under the back of his head and smiled. "Della," said he, "let's put our Christmas presents away and keep them a while. They're too nice to use just at present. Actually, I sold the watch to get the money to buy your combs. And that chop smells good. Why don't you have just dinner, my darling?"